Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're keeping safe and sane. Um, yeah, I put a post out last night, and I'll probably record this video today. It's a bit of a different one, really. I haven't really planned it as much, but it's just kind of just a few things I wanted to talk about. I spent a lot of time yesterday going through and reading your guys' comments, and I responded to quite a lot of them. I haven't managed to respond to everyone. I'll try and do a few more tonight, but yeah, I firstly want to say thank you. Huge amounts of support in the comments for myself, for the channel. People saying, that my waffling on and my videos and stuff have been helping them with their gambling addiction, which is absolutely fantastic. And it, I mean it. It's. I was going to say it's the reason that I started the channel. Just to let you know that, like I say, I'm going to probably waffle a bit in this, so maybe make yourself a cup of tea. I would have said it was the reason I started the channel, and in all honesty, I'm not sure it was. I, to this day, can't really recall the reason for starting the channel. If you look at my first couple of videos, they're not really in the format they're in at the moment. I think I was still gambling at the time. But I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to talk about gambling and gambling addiction, and I don't know whether I anticipated that it would become part of my own recovery, whether I just wanted to make some videos, whether I just wanted to talk about stuff and get stuff off my chest. I genuinely, honestly couldn't recall the primary reason for starting the channel. As it developed, I thought I was doing it for my own recovery. I thought that talking anonymously to you guys, or some of you guys, as it was, I think back then I had less than 100 subscribers, would help, like, be like an outlet for my thoughts and stuff when it came to gambling. When I had urges and stuff, I could talk about it. It didn't work, if I'm completely honest, in that respect. Actually, I'm talking about gambling so much probably kept it more at the forefront of my mind than it should have been, and I ended up having a lapse, which again I documented for honesty and openness, and the video's still on there. I haven't really deleted any videos. The only time I've deleted videos is when I've uploaded them and there's been something wrong with them, or I think I deleted one once because I uploaded it and it was so obviously not what people wanted from the channel, that I removed it. But then I did put out an explanation as to why I removed it. So I didn't really, like I say, it didn't work as part of my recovery. The problem is, by this point, I say the problem ultimately is why I'm still here. The thing is, by this point, I'd already received a number of messages from people saying that it was quite relatable, that they could relate to what I was saying, that it made them feel like they weren't alone in their gambling problems, and then people saying that it was helping them, and watching my videos was helping them with their recovery. So although I took a bit of a break from making YouTube videos for a while I sorted myself out, that is ultimately what brought me back to the channel and what brought me back to making videos, even though I knew. Oh God, I'm trying not to sound like a martyr, because I'm obviously I'm not. I'm just trying to think how to word this. Basically, what brought me back to the channel, even though there was I knew there was a potential risk of it leading to sort of a lapse on my part, was that I gained real positivity. I gained personal satisfaction and happiness from seeing that I could help and influence and impact other people, and that's kind of what keeps me bringing it back, really. And that this is contrary to the belief of some people, who, because my videos are now monetized, and I really won't go into this too much because I've banged on about it, people seem to think that somehow this was my master plan, that I always, that I wanted to be a YouTuber and make money off of YouTube. Now, just as a point of reference, firstly, I never expected to get to a point where I was able to monetize the channel. I was happy with a smaller number of subscribers. I'm obviously delighted with the number I've got now, don't get me wrong, and I appreciate the people that keep joining the channel and supporting me. But I never expected it to be at a point where I could monetize it. So it was never really a thought in my head. And the other point, of course, is actually just how much I'm earning from YouTube. Now, I don't know if I'm technically supposed to say, but put it this way, I'm going to buy myself, when I do get paid the first time, I'm going to buy a better USB webcam, like an HT one, or whatever, so at least a 1080p decent webcam, so to improve the picture quality of these videos. And I'm going to have to put some of my own money towards it. There you go. And you know how much these things cost. They're pennies, aren't they? So that gives you an indication, really, of how much money I'm earning from this. It's negligible, but I'll take it because it means I can put something back. I will probably in the future. I'm not going to commit to anything, but I probably will in the future donate some of it. But again, that relies on it's sort of actually amounting to anything. I do already commit in ways to charities, so I'm not going to get into too much detail. It's kind of bizarre. I'm going to go on tangents. I was mentioned recently on one of the big gambling forums. Actually, the guy who runs this particular forum, very well known in the gambling community, but he actually is a supporter of the channel. He sends people my way if they're struggling with gambling, and he suggests that they watch my videos and stuff, which is cool. But it was kind of bizarre because on there I got praise from some people and I got criticism from others, and that's fine. But someone implied that, if I wanted to do some good, I should be dedicating more of my own time and money to help gambling charities rather than just making these, and they use the words, useless videos. Now I didn't bite, although I did suggest that I have evidence to the contrary that they're useless and that they are helping at least a small number of people, and ultimately surely that's got to be worthwhile. But this particular person who commented had a YouTube channel themselves, and they uploaded slot videos and big win videos and things of that nature. Now I don't know if they're an affiliate or whatever, but the idea that I'm doing something which I deem to be positive, and a lot of people deem to be positive, and trying to help people in my own way, albeit, and it's a bit of a cliche now, but I'm not an expert. Someone was criticising me for not doing enough. So this good thing I was doing, I should be doing more good things. Whereas this person themselves was, from what I could tell, doing nothing to benefit anyone, actually indeed could be adding to the problem. So it's a strange mentality. It's my fault, I guess, to an extent, because I have intentionally or unintentionally kind of put myself on a little bit of a pedestal. Particularly now I have a decent sized following. I've got basically 1,200 subscribers now, which is, for a channel of this type, which is just some, overweight, approaching 40 bloke rambling about his problems, is quite substantial. So, yeah, I do feel now like I have an element of responsibility to everyone who supports me and who supports the channel, particularly all those lovely people who have come out and sort of supported me regardless of the fact that like I say, the videos are now monetized and stuff. But let's not go back over that. So it's strange, and that brings me on to the element of criticism. Now, 80% of comments I receive, I would say, are just positive. Great feedback from people saying that I help, or that they can relate to my videos, that they really enjoy my videos, or that it makes them feel like they're not alone, and that's really the whole purpose of it. Another 15% aren't so positive, but I really appreciate the comments, because they're people who disagree with me, or aren't necessarily on board with my way of thinking or with my opinions, and that's cool, and I like that, because apart from when I share my experiences, which are undeniable, of course, most of what I talk about is my opinions. And as with everyone, as people always say, everyone's got an opinion, haven't they? And whilst I believe my opinions are right, because otherwise they wouldn't be my opinions, I'm also aware that people have other opinions which may be just as valid, and actually, by hearing them, might change my way of seeing things a bit, I think if you approach anything with a closed mind, and you approach everything, with the idea that your opinion is always going to be right, and not being, and you're not susceptible to change, you're not able to change, you're not willing to listen and open up and consider that the other opinions, might not, that don't fall directly in line with your existing one, might also have validity. Then I think there's no point having a conversation. I have put opinions out there before, and actually, if you go back through my videos, you might see that my opinions changed slightly on certain things. Because I put opinions out there before, I've had feedback, I've had conversations with people, and at times I've picked things up and gone, actually, you know what, that's a really good point. I didn't quite think of it from that angle, and although it might not change my opinions on stuff sort of lock, stock, and barrel, I might then have sort of different facets of my opinions, if you know what I mean. So that's great. And to those people who come on and comment and sort of disagree with me about things, please keep doing that. Please keep sharing your opinions. Excuse me. I love to hear it. That takes me on to the last 5%, who are, I'd say trolls, but trolls to me implies it's almost an unfocused, unfocused, untargeted sort of just attack on random people online. These are the people who come on and are personally insulting, which I can kind of deal with. I think it's odd. I actually banned a guy recently who just literally started going through. I clocked he put a negative comment on one of the videos calling me fat, which was a genius observation of the guy, which is kind of weird and a bit rude and a bit unnecessary, but whatever. But then I noticed he'd started basically just going through all my videos and just putting insults on them, and I didn't really understand why. I looked at the guy's channel. He's I'm not going to say who he was, but he had a sort of gambling related channel. But he didn't seem to be an affiliate or anything, so he didn't really have a dog in the fight. He just seemed to want to come on here and slag me off personally, which is odd. A lot of the actual insults I get are from people in kind of like a gambling community, which is odd because I've always been very careful, and not because I'm tiptoeing around or pandering, but because actually it's just my opinion and my approach to stuff, that I don't really hold a grudge against anyone. I don't have a massive issue with people who gamble. I don't even have an issue massively with people who put gambling content out there. I've a couple of times I've talked about streamers on my channel, both of which, by the way, the two streamers I've talked about specifically, I've actually now spoken to directly or indirectly, and we're cool. But that's only because of something specific that they did, which I thought was either disingenuous or predatory or just not really, responsible. And that's the only time I've really talked about it. Other than that, I've not really gone out my way to criticise or critique others and the way they present gambling online, because it's not. Again, it's an odd one. I kind of always end up falling between two stools here, because the easiest thing for me to do, honestly, right, hand on heart, would be to create a series of videos calling out streamers, put their face in the thumbnail, give it a clickbaity title, and say XYZ streamer exposed, conning their viewers, fake money streamer, whatever. And it would raise my profile immensely. The one video I did make about someone who was actually proven and actually self-confessed, and that was the guy Profiting, who I did made a video on a while ago, to using fake money, which wasn't really a sensation because, of course, he talked about it openly. I wasn't calling him out. It was just I was just reporting on the fact this has happened. That has been one of my most viewed videos. So if I put, and I'm going to throw this name in the title just because there's no basis behind this. It's just someone who I know gets a lot of attention. If I put the Bandit is a fake money streamer, the Bandit exposed, whatever, he's not, as far as I'm aware, and that was just a name plucked from thin air. So take that with a grain of salt. But that would get thousands and thousands of views. I'd get loads of subscribers, you know. And now the channel's monetized, as we know, because we talk about it enough. You know, that would actually make me money. But it would be disingenuous, and it would be counterproductive, and it would be making drama when this isn't about drama. This is about helping people, and it's about, you know, sharing experiences and advice, and talking about what works, what doesn't work. And yeah, there are videos on my channel that aren't, you know, addiction related. I think a couple of the most recent ones about gambling fallacies and stuff, I thought they're a bit more fun. And they're certainly not pro gambling, are they? You know, I think the message in there is always very much, you know, be careful what you believe, and just if possible, stay away from gambling. That was kind of the point of those. There wasn't really any other sort of deep-seated meaning. So yeah, I could do that, but I'm not going to. And the problem is when I do that, and if I don't talk about streamers in such a negative light, you know, I get a load of people coming along and saying, "Oh, why don't you, you know, why are you sitting on the fence? Why don't you make a video being honest about your opinions and don't pull any punches?" But I am being honest with my opinions. I don't have a huge amount of animosity towards streamers, in so much as I don't have a huge amount of animosity towards the advertising agencies that promote gambling and all the rest of it. You know, yes, it's all part of a big problem, but to go on and to actively hate someone, it's counterproductive. It doesn't help us as recovering gamblers or gambling addicts or whatever, and my viewers. It's not going to have any, because of my size in YouTube terms, it's not going to have any significant impact on them anyway. So it's just being negative, and I'd rather be positive, you know, with that. So that, yeah, like I say, it's weird when people come on and just insult you. And the last type of comment, and the ones I alluded to yesterday, and the ones that kind of grated on me a little bit yesterday, were the ones where people are coming out and sort of suggesting that either I'm still gambling. People say, oh, you know, someone said yesterday, oh, you know, as soon as he's recorded the video, he goes and does his brains online, which is not true. I've always said I do occasionally still get urges, but I'm in a position now, for once, through following my own advice, where I wouldn't be able to go and do that if I wanted to. The blocks in place are so watertight that if I even if I wanted to finish recording this video and then go and have a punt, I couldn't do it. And although you know, my urges and my distancing from gambling, you know, my urges have subsided, and I feel more distant from gambling apart from doing these videos than I ever have. You know, they will still occur, and I've still got to be on my guard. And I don't know how long that'll be for. It could be for the rest of my life. I've just got to be alert. But I also had another couple of comments actually that said, "Oh, once a gambler, always a gambler." It kind of implying that, you know, the pursuit of recovery, the pursuit of abstinence from gambling, is kind of pointless, meaningless, futile, whatever. It kind of means by, you know, imposition that my channel and what I do is pointless, which is kind of offensive in a way, but whatever. But it got me thinking that it's a weird mentality, and it's very, very very prevalent when people quit things like alcohol. If people quit something, then quite often people around them, or certainly in their consciousness, who are still doing that thing, and obviously this applies to gambling as well, as I've now experienced, people who are doing the same thing, a lot of them are supportive, but there are a certain section of people who want you to fail. I've got friends around me who gamble. I've had a lot of my friends gamble, which is how I've made some of the friends I have now. And whilst when you quit, some of your gambling friends will fall by the wayside because you no longer have a need to meet them. Some of them are actual friends, and you still see them. And the vast majority of them have been very supportive, but there are those in real life, and obviously now, as I've experienced online, who don't want you to succeed. in your recovery. They don't want you to successfully abstain and to successfully quit gambling. And the psychology behind this generally is that they themselves, and I'm not speaking for everyone obviously, but they themselves have a problem. They have possibly been in that situation and they've either failed in recovery, or they haven't started it but then they should, or they've tried to quit and been unsuccessful. And if they're able to drag you down, no, I won't use the term drag you down, and I'll tell you why in a second. But if they can get you back gambling again, it will make them feel better about themselves. So this is very prevalent amongst groups of drinkers when you have a bubble of drinkers, people who drink together all the time. If someone stops drinking, there'll be a number of those people who want them to start drinking again because it then justifies their own actions. So if these people can get me gambling again, then it goes to show, it makes them feel, more justified in what they're doing, but also it cements this idea that recovery is futile. In a way, this is kind of how the channel's come full circle now, because, like I say, in the early days, it might have been actually detrimental to my recovery. But now, if I was gambling, and now the chances of me being recognised out and about are slim, but I wouldn't be able to gamble in any capacity, because if I was recognised, the chances are someone would post about it in the comments or whatever, and it would undo any good work that I've done, because whilst my points and my experiences and my advice would still stand and actually should still hold water, it would basically be demonstrating that someone who's put themselves on a non-gambling pedestal has failed in their recovery, would almost go as far as to show that it's futile, and it would excuse lapses and relapses amongst other people. And I think this is why people want someone like myself to fail, and they would probably be rejoicing from this small portion of people if I was to post a video saying, yeah, I cracked, I failed, and I gambled. Because firstly, oh look, we've broken him, but also they'll somehow be justifying their own actions. And like I say, most of the people who I do get negative comments from, or these disparaging, discouraging comments saying, oh, you'll go back to it, or, you're a gambler. Someone said, oh, he'll use his AdSense money to go and do his brains on Book of Dead or something, because I mentioned Book of Dead in my previous video, just as an example slot, really. It would sort of give them sort of closure on that and justify their own thing. So that's that, really. But like I say, basically, I've got a bit negative there. But like I say, 90% of comments are great. 95% of them are productive. 80% of them are just blindingly positive, and I love it. I actually have gone through and I've sort of screenshotted a load for myself. If I'm honest, for myself to keep myself motivated to keep doing this, to keep recording these videos. I'm not I'm not an extroverted person. I like ranting. As my second channel will tell you, which I've kind of neglected a little bit. It's it doesn't feel like I've got this channel which I created because I like talking about stuff. I like ranting about stuff. I like giving my opinions on things, but it doesn't feel like it's got the same purpose as this channel. But I'll stick a few more videos on there, and maybe I'll link it in the description if you want to go over there and pop a sub on it. That would be appreciated, try and build up a little bit. But you know what? I've completely lost the thread of what I was saying. But yeah, like I say, your positive comments do give me the motivation to keep doing this. Trust me, it's not the money, and it's not the fame, because I'm not an extrovert. I don't want fame. I don't have the face for fame, do I? Yeah, I'm going to be doing. This is kind of a preemptive video, really, to start doing the live streams and stuff. Because I'm getting a lot more comments now, and I'm not always having the time to sort of react and respond and get back to people. I figure if I just go live at some point, you guys can ask questions. Like, I don't want it to be like a... How am I going to say this without making it sound a bit wanky? I don't want it to be like a sort of formal like Q&A, like you come on, you ask questions, and I sit here and whatever. I think more than anything, and more than ever, I want it to be more just like a, I've seen your names in the comments, and I just kind of want to interact, and I'll probably have a beer on the go, and we can just sit and chat for a bit, plus you get to watch all of that without adverts. I know I keep going back to it. It's just, like I say, such a substantial number, or significant proportion of people have been so supportive about that. I had one guy yesterday who said he was going to boycott the channel. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to upset people. I don't want people to leave the channel, because if they're here, either they find the videos interesting, in which case great, but more importantly, if people are finding the videos useful or helpful, or somehow they need them in some capacity, I don't want to lose people from being subscribers or whatever. So it is a shame to see people lose, but to say you're going to boycott my channel, if I'm honest, I don't care. I don't care about you saying that. I care about you not watching the videos, because it might be that you could get some benefit from them. But as a threat, it's not a concern. In all honesty, I would miss making these videos, but I could stop doing these videos tomorrow and it wouldn't have a massive impact on my life. It would be a real shame, and I have no intention of stopping. I want to go a bit more over to the live stream thing. I don't really know how that's going to work out. I mean, most people stream something, don't they? They stream a game, or they stream casinos, or they stream something. It'll just be me and my face. But yeah, I'm sure with you guys coming along and having a chat and asking questions and stuff, it'd be quite cool. I think it'd just be a bit of fun, wouldn't it? But yeah, so that's that. Other than that, onwards and upwards, I think. There's a few other people doing this now, making these videos, which is really cool. I mentioned Trevor Rainsford before. He's worth a look. He's just a guy like me who is recovering, and he comes along and he rambles about what he thinks. A few, unfortunately, and I'm not going to mention names because I don't know how they are. I've reached out to a couple of people who used to post videos on here, just to check if they're all right. Because it's a shame, I see a cycle quite often of people coming on here, making videos about gambling recovery, and then they disappear, and it's a real concern. I used to be a member of the GamCare forums, which obviously is like a gambling addiction and recovery forum. And it used to be such a shame, because you used to see people come along and they used to post consistently and incessantly for X period of time, and then they used to disappear, and you always worried. So yeah, if you're one of those people, the lady who I used to speak to, and the guy in the van, I think that's candid enough for you to know who I'm talking about. If you guys are all right and you're still about, drop us a message, because it'd be good to hear from you and see how you're doing. We are a community. And that's what I like to think we've built, and that's why I like to see the sub numbers go up, Anyway, yeah, if you got this far, thank you. Like I say, it's a very different video. I kind of sat there mulling over a lot of these thoughts in my head last night when I was reading the comments and stuff, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to fire up the camera, have a chat, and talk to you guys. Like I say, it's going to be probably a bit like this on the stream, innit? I would have thought. Just me sharing my thoughts, sharing my opinions, and chatting to you guys. If you haven't subscribed, then please do. If you're interested in watching or joining me when I go live, then hit the little notification bell, because I believe that means you'll get told when I go live, because it'd be really good to see as many of you as possible over there, If you want to pop over to Just Phil, that's my second channel, and just drop a sub on that. I promise I won't inundate you with too many videos, because, like I say, I'm putting a lot more of my focus on this, as well as on obviously my family, my day job, my side hustles, and all the rest of it. So I'm quite a busy man. But yeah, I'm gonna crack on. I'm gonna go make some more coffee, and obviously I look forward to catching up with all you lovely people very soon. But thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. I've been me. Obviously you've been you, and stay safe and stay sane. All the best, guys.